Do you like to rock? Do you like to roll? Because today we are looking at ACDC.
It's gonna be real good. I'm just excited to be here.
Welcome to the second ever episode of Chair's Record Review. I am your host as always, Chair. And like I said, we are reviewing ACDC's first album, their debut album, High Voltage. Now, this album, at least the cover and this disc and stuff, is a little older looking. I actually got this from my uncle, who's getting rid of a bunch of vinyls. So I happened to snag this and a couple other ACDC albums, so the future episodes will be ACDC episodes. So if you're into this kind of rock type music, then these next few episodes are going to be really, really fun because we're going to be going through the discography. Now, if you've never heard of ACDC before, then you're honestly just stupid. They make songs that are played at every sporting event, party, or every dad poker game ever. And they are just that fun. They started in the 70s, but they still make rock today, surprisingly. I think they did lose a couple members and stuff, but they still are making rock music to this day, which is really interesting. This band is notoriously known for making 4/4 rock songs, so if you're not really into that, then you're probably not going to like any of these songs, but they are just classic kind of rock songs. And so there's 9 songs on this debut album, and I guess we're going to go give it a listen, so let's pop that record on. So the first album has an extremely long title, so we're just gonna quick slide that across the screen there as I continue talking. But it is a 4/4 classic rock song, like I said, and most of their songs are going to do this. But what a way to kick off an album, a rock album. Their debut song on their debut album pretty much tells you what it's going to be. It's going to be about rock music. It's going to be a rock song. I think the actual added bonus of having bagpipes in it is super, super cool. They actually don't do this in any of the other songs, so if you listen to the song and this is the first ACDC song you listen to, you might be like, wow, they're going to add these fun instruments throughout all their songs. They actually don't do that, which is kind of a bummer because I really, really do enjoy this song. I think it's actually pretty badass. If you don't know what this band is about, after hearing to this song, you know exactly what this band is going to do with the added bonus of bagpipes. So I do really enjoy this song. Now the next song is called Rock and Roll Singer, and even though the last song was an introduction to just talking about rock music, doing it 2 times in a row is kind of a weird vibe, and I actually don't like this song for that reason. This lyrics are simple and generic, which can be similar to the previous song. However, we already know that this is a rock band after the first song. We don't need to hear it again. Honestly, this is Bon Scott just saying that he's a rock and roll singer, but we kind of already heard him talk about it in the previous song. And this was a really singer-focused song, and I didn't really care for that. It's a 5-minute song. Most of these songs on the first half of the album are actually 5 minutes or more, and it was kind of a little bit of a waste of time. I understand that the band is creating songs right now, like this is them just writing songs, and being such a debut album or the start of the creative process, it can be difficult to come up with fun things or random things, so they were just kind of probably writing things down, and this was just a simple song they created fun guitar and drums over. But as simple as the last song was, it doesn't click with it doing 2 times in a row. It just is too basic for me. It doesn't feel anything more than a simple rock and roll song about rock and roll. The third song is called The Jack, and if you didn't know the name of the title, don't worry, it will tell you literally 347 million times in this song. This song is annoying. If you've heard this song beforehand, I don't know how you didn't freak out or want to jump out of a window, because this song is annoying as hell. It is just repetitive. It is nothing new, it's nothing fresh, and it's just boring. Another thing I don't really like about it is that it's a very slow song. It's a very slow rock song, which I'm fine with. I've heard many slow rock songs before, but this is not it for ACDC. It's just plodding along. It's really boring. And like I said, this is a 5-minute song, 5+ minute song. It is, you feel every second. My favorite thing about this is that at the end of the song they mix in the production that they're like boos, literal boos from the crowd. and I don't know if that was a joke because they knew this song was shit, or if they just, I don't know the whole story about it, but I think it's really funny because I wanted to boo, and they are not even live in front of me. I wanted to break the vinyl when this song came on. The next song and the final song on the first side of this album is Live Wire. Now this song is way better than the previous song. I think it actually bumps up the energy, it gets you pumping, it has that fast rock feel that you're craving, and usually the ACDC can deliver. I will say the one downside, in that it kind of happens throughout the entire song, is that it just doesn't feel like there's enough to fill it, and you're going to probably hear this a lot for the rest of the episode, is that there is not enough instruments or just that feeling of it feeling like a full produced song. It just feels like there's empty sockets here and there. I think there are great solos in between the verses, but there are times during the chorus where you feel like it should build, it doesn't build, and it kind of just plateaus, and it does it multiple times to where you don't gain any more energy as you feel like you should. Because this song is 6 minutes, you feel like the energy should build and build and build. It doesn't really do so. Like even halfway through the song dims out and you think it's over, and then it comes back and it reprises the chorus and it hits it again. You would think it would come with more energy. If anything, it just goes and tells you what it's been doing since the beginning. So it doesn't add any more oomph to it, which is something you want to when you're building a 6-minute rock song. I will say though, it is not a bad song, it just feels like it's not a finished song, especially for a 6-minute song, especially for a song of how long it is. However, unlike the last song, it does fly by. Those 6 minutes do fly by because it is a more energetic song rather than, the last song. However, that's the end of the first side, so now it's time to flip that disc and take a little intermission in between. Kicking off the second side of this album is by far a classic ACDC song, TNT. It is beautiful. I love this song, and it starts off the second side in an amazing way. Fast-paced, and it's fun. It's just an amazing ride of a song, and it's actually the quickest song in the album, clocking, I think, 3.5 minutes. So it's the most fun song, even though it's the shortest song. It gets you the most pumped up. The guitar solo in the song is absolutely incredible. This guitar solo literally makes you want to, go on an insane run or punch drywall or literally shotgun a Monster Energy drink. This is critical guitar solo type energy here, and I'm such a huge fan of it in this song. And I'm not even a guitar player, but I think it's amazing. This next song once again has a decently long title, Can I Sit Next to You Girl? It is so fun, and it just has these amazing guitar parts in between and throughout the entire song. I think both guitar players are absolutely amazing in the song, and it really is focused on them because the lyrics, once again, most ACDC songs are pretty repetitive in the chorus. It's not even a chorus, it's usually just them repeating the same word. I think in this scenario, it is just a guitar-focused song. I feel like they came up with these cool sounds, and they're like, I guess we'll just throw some lyrics over it. But it's great. I do love it. It's very energetic. I do enjoy this, and so far, the kicking up the second side, it's already way better than the first side. These first two songs are absolutely great. So with this next song, take everything that I just said, throw it in a bin, and set that bin on fire, because it was a great start to this album, or at least this side of the album, and then you get to this song. This song is, it's just so weird, and once again, it's one of their slow songs. And I am not a hater of slow rock songs. There are others out there that I do enjoy, but these two are the only two on this album, thank God, because these two are really bad. I would say they're some of the worst songs on this album, and maybe some of the worst ACDC songs. I'll know more once we get deeper into the discography. It's not really know what they're doing. It's not fun. It's not energetic. It doesn't even make you really want to sing along. It just makes you kind of want to sit there and use the bathroom if you were at their concert, or smoke, chain smoke 5 cigarettes or something. However, I will say it is better than the Jack by a good chunk, because I just do not like that song. The lyrics, however, can be weird at times. It is confused whether her seat is wet from Coca-Cola or her juices. That is kind of weird, and I don't mind there being weird moments in lyrics in rock songs, because some of them are usually based off sex, drugs, and rock and roll, kind of kind of vibe. I mean, shout out to the Lemon song. You know, that song has really weird lyrics, but it's a great song because it's actually fun and energetic and you want to listen to it again. This is not that case. Since it's a bad rock song, the weird lyrics make this sound even creepier. This is worse than dad rock. This is like creepy uncle rock. Now for the 8th song on this album, I would say this is the most fun I've had with this album, at least the most fun I had with the title of the song, She's Got Balls, and that's absolutely hilarious. I love the fact that they can have fun and say weird things like that. Like I said previously, I don't mind weird lyrics or a fun meaning or jokes or sexual innuendos if it's a fun rock song and it makes you want to sing along to it. And this answers that problem set by the previous 2 songs. The second time the chorus actually comes around, you can hear these deep back vocals, just singing the word balls, and it's so funny, and you could tell that they had fun with it, but they also had a good time in the production of it. That's not just a joke fully, that it is still a good rock song with some great substance and thickness throughout the song, which I really also think make this song really good. I will say there's times where it slows you down and pumps you up, and kind of like earlier where it plateaus, this song, it kind of does that a few times, but not in an enjoyable way. Like at times it can feel like the energy is not growing back and they try to get you back into it and you can't fulfill it. I'll just say that this is probably a mid-song, however, bonus points for all the balls in, around, and involved with that song. The final song in this album, the 9th song, is High Voltage. Now they named this album High Voltage, so I think that they expected this song to probably be the best song in the album. I can say more about that when we get to the rankings later, and it's a pretty decent song. However, it fails in what happens in many of these other ACDC songs, and I think it's just because they are a debut band at this time and they're still figuring out the kinks. It just doesn't feel full, but there's just something missing. I don't know if it's a lack of energy, because you feel it and you feel that it's not pumping you like some of their other rock songs or some of their well-known rock songs should. And I think they expected it to be that, and it didn't accomplish its task. The lyrics are pretty simple, and the chorus is really fun, and you want to sing along to it. Like TNT, it has that energy where it can capture the ability for a crowd to just go absolutely bonkers and sing this out loud. But unlike TNT, it doesn't have that same energy as much, and it does fly by. For being 4 minutes, it zooms by. You do not feel the 4 minutes at all. It is such a fun rock song, but there is just this emptiness in it, and I feel like that's what counts against it a little bit. But as that is the last song on the album, now it is time to take it off and give my rankings from my least favorite to my most favorite in my opinion. So let's get to it. So kicking off the list, way in last, the Smelly Dog Award goes to The Jack. This song is boring, it's slow, it's repetitive, it's annoying. It makes you want to be like Vincent van Gogh and cut off your ears every time you hear this song. That's how unfun it is. That's how bad it is, truly. Like I said with the last episode, 8 songs is an even number, and it feels better on an album. They could take this off the album, and I think it would maybe make the album a little bit better. Taking the number 8 spot is Little Lover. It is, once again, that slow rock song that I just feel like those 2 slow rock songs on this album are just not that good. It doesn't get you wanting to sing along at all. It just gives off a weird vibe. Once again, like other songs on this album, and you'll hear me say it as we get through the next couple songs in the ranking, they just don't feel full enough. With the lyrics, though many of their songs are repetitive lyrics, these lyrics just don't click. They don't make you want to sing out loud. They don't make you want to have a fun time. It is a pretty bad song, but it is not as bad as... In 7th place, I'm going to give it to a rock and roll singer. Like I said, it is just a little too simple of a song, especially where it's placed in the album, coming right after the title track, telling us that this is a rock and roll band, and then the second song is once again telling us it's a rock and roll band. It feels kind of unneeded or unwanted. It's just kind of there. The lyrics are too simplistic, and it focuses so much on the singer because it is kind of his story to tell, and I just didn't click with it in that scenario. It's fine, but it's not really needed. I don't really care for it. So it's not bad in any way, but it's an unwanted song. It is the orphan of this album. In 6th place is going to go to Live Wire. Now this was close between taking 5th place with the next song we'll get to, but I think the execution of this song kind of failed in certain areas. I feel like Live Wire had the potential, if it was capitalized on, to fill, like I said, it just lacks substance. It lacks some of that filling that it could really use. It just feels too long for something that should have had more production involved. Even when it reprises, like I said earlier, it just doesn't capture the same energy. You want to keep pumping up, but there's nothing up to go to. It just plateaus. It just kind of stays at the same level, and it doesn't really make that song fun. I think they knew what they wanted to do, and they just kind of accomplished it poorly, or maybe rushed, or I don't know. But there was way more that could have been done with the song, and it was not capitalized on in any way. In 5th place is going to go to She's Got Balls. Like I said earlier, it's a totally mid song. However, with the bonus points of adding balls to the equation, it gets a little bonus point from me. The reason I like this is because there is more production, there's more like background, there's more fill in there. Like I said, there's those background vocals just singing balls in the background. Even though it's silly, it adds more to the song, and that's what it should do. And that's what Livewire didn't do, and so this is why this song barely ekes up above it, because it is a pretty mid song. But I will say, it's a fun listen, and there is more production to it, so it does get 5th place. In 4th place is going to be High Voltage. Like I said, I feel like they expected this to be the best song in the album, and it didn't actually turn out to be that way. I think this song could be way heavier and way more rock and roll, because they are capable of doing that, as we'll see towards the top of the list. They can make a really heavy rock song, and they should have done it with that song because it's fun to sing along to and chant. I can easily see a crowd of thousands of people screaming and belting this song because it is really decent, but it just doesn't, once again, it doesn't capitalize on the ability to make it heavier or darker, which I feel like this song should be. It doesn't feel like there's enough in the song, especially at running in over 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes, that should make it a 5-minute song. It feels like a 2.5-minute song because there's not enough, layers in it, and it needs to, I think it should have more layers to make it a better song. Getting the bronze is going to be It's a Long Way to the Top with the parenthesis added to the title, so we're just gonna throw that long title up there. This is just a really classic rock song. Now looking back, if you listen in chronological order, you think that there's gonna be more to these songs, and they don't fulfill that, but this first song really does. It at least has something with those bagpipes. It just adds more flavor to the mix of this song, and it's really well orchestrated, and with adding that, and it makes it more fun. It makes you want to listen to these fun rock songs because there is at least something. It doesn't have to be bagpipes in every song, but it has something. The thickness and the production of the song is really fulfilling, and there's really not much missing from this song. It's just I like the other two songs a little bit more, but this is a really good song. Taking the silver medal is Can I Sit Next to You Girl. I wasn't fascinated with the lyrics of this song, but I was really fascinated by the guitar parts. This is just a guitar song for me. I listen to it to listen to the guitars. They're so fun. The solos are great, but even during the verses, the entire song, they're just playing the guitars in such a fun, rocky way. I absolutely love it. What I also love is that since there are two guitar players, they're jamming their own kind of tune, but it mixes together so well, and it mixes with the entire rest of the band. They just know where to come in, where to come out, and they know where each other are in this song. It is really well detailed, and I really, really enjoy it. It doesn't really have any negatives. It's just that the top song is the top song because I like it more, but this is a great, great listen. And that top song is, of course, TNT. It wins the gold title with very little competition. There are so many reasons why it does that. It has more production, it has more energy, it has more build. You love every section of it. The oi chants in between, in the chorus or in between the verses, are so fun and chanting, and it just adds that layer. And then at the very end, you get this breakdown where everything kind of falls apart in this huge just mess of a sound of loud rock. is made, and it's something that could be used in other songs and should be used in other songs. And the fact that this song is so well produced, I know that they have the ability to do that in other songs. It's such a fun listen. Every second of it is used well, and every solo and drum part and the vocals and the lyrics, it's peak, all of them, at least for this album, it's the peak. Right there, right smack dab as the 5th song in the middle of the album. And I'll now be creating a gold medal archive of all the gold medal songs on each album that I listen to. So now TNT gets to sit next to Thank You for the Music from our last episode. It definitely deserves that medal. Same with the previous episode, and I can't wait to see what else it joins as we get further into this series. I'd say if, overall this album is a decent listen. It's definitely, you can tell it's their debut album and they have ways to grow, but it is fun to see them at their start and see where they're going to head as we get in, because the next few episodes are going to be ACDC albums, because I think I own 3 other ones. But I would recommend the top 3 easily. However, I would say if you want to, listen to the top 5 on my ranking list. They are great rock songs, just those classic 4/4 ACDC rock songs. I would stay away from some of the songs because some of them are just plain annoying. But it seems that is all the time we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I also hope you guys, look more at the other media that's created on this channel and subscribe so you can know when other stuff comes out. I have an inkling that there's going to be some other gasms or other people just involved in the gasm work that are going to be creating their own little vlogs, their own little shows, and own little side projects over the summer, so make sure to stay tuned to that, because this record show is just definitely something fun to do on the side over the summer, but there is so much other potential that these other gasms are going to create, and it's going to be so fun to see what they create as well. So stay tuned to that, and I'll see you next time.